Get ready. August isn't just another month passing by like any other. While most people will move through it on autopilot, caught up in the rhythm of their daily routines, oblivious to the subtle shifts around them, you're already sensing something different. Something profound has quietly begun, a transformation that slipped past unnoticed by many but not by you. You felt the stirrings before the signs became clear. You haven't just noticed a new energy hovering nearby, you've already been touched and awakened by it in a way others won't fully comprehend until it unfolds directly in their lives. What nobody is telling you is that this isn't some gradual build-up that will happen sometime in the future. The change is not on the horizon. It is happening right now, in this very moment. The wheels have been set in motion, and the ripple effects are only beginning to radiate outward. What's coming will not feel like an abrupt or unfamiliar new beginning. Instead, it will awaken something deeply ancient, something that's been dormant inside you all along, patiently waiting for the right time to stir to life. It's as if an old part of your soul, long forgotten or buried beneath layers of experience, is rising again, familiar yet mysterious. August is stepping onto the scene with a force that defies expectations. But this force isn't loud or obvious. It's subtle, yet undeniable. Something or someone you believed was lost or left behind is quietly making a return, though not in the same form you once knew. It will come back transformed, wrapped in a new guise shaped by the passage of time and changes in circumstance. To understand this return, you need to look back a few months to March, when you closed a significant chapter in your life. Maybe you consciously let go of something or someone, or perhaps it slipped through your fingers and felt like a painful ending. But that ending was not the final word. Now the story you thought you had finished is circling back, disguised but unmistakably the same. This is the loop door, the uncanny moment when the past returns, not to trap you, but to offer a chance for closure on your own terms. If you react with the same mindset and habits as before, the cycle will repeat and slip away once more. But if you can recognize the pattern for what it is, pause to breathe, and respond with the wisdom and growth you've gained since then, everything will shift. The cycle breaks here, and this time you hold the power to close it fully. This isn't about being haunted by your past or reliving old wounds. It's about being asked, quietly but insistently, if you are truly ready to reclaim a piece of yourself that was once shattered or lost. If you are prepared, August will open a door that even March couldn't unlock. It's an invitation to step into a new phase of your life with strength and clarity. Your mind might raise doubts and question the reality of what's unfolding. Your logical thoughts will search for reasons, weighing pros and cons, but your soul will know the truth. August doesn't work on logic or reason. It calls for instinct, intuition, and trust in the unseen. You'll encounter moments when everything seems perfectly aligned on the surface, when people say the right things, and circumstances appear flawless. Yet deep inside, a small, quiet voice will whisper, "No, step back." That voice isn't fear. It's your inner compass, your protective filter sharpening its signal. And as the month progresses, that voice will grow louder, more insistent. You'll feel this energy in your body long before your mind can make sense of it. A sudden chill, a gut feeling, or a sense of unease that arises without a clear reason. At first, it might seem confusing or unwarranted. The full meaning won't reveal itself immediately. It will take time and reflection to connect the dots after the moment is passed. But trust this internal guidance. It's preparing you for what's coming, helping you navigate the complexities of this returning chapter with wisdom and grace. August is not just a month. It's a gateway to transformation. It's a call to awaken, to reclaim, and to rewrite a story you thought was over. The time for hesitation is past. Now is when you lean into your growth, your insight, and your courage to step through the loop door and emerge into something stronger, wiser, and more whole than before. The journey is already underway, and you've been ready all along. Before we move ahead in the video, I want to let you know that if you've gained even a little value from my efforts, please consider donating through Super Thanks or via PayPal. It really helps motivate and inspire us to keep going. Some people will ignore the subtle nudges, brushing them aside as mere coincidence or wishful thinking. They'll question their own instincts, demanding concrete proof before taking any action. They'll rationalize staying put, convincing themselves that waiting for clarity or external confirmation is the safer choice. But that hesitation, though understandable, comes at a cost. It creates missed opportunities, prolonged struggles, and sometimes even deeper challenges that could have been avoided. On the other hand, those who learn to trust their inner voice, even when it doesn't make logical sense or feels inconvenient, find themselves shielded in ways they didn't expect. It's as if this quiet guidance is a protective force, steering them away from burdens or traps before they fully materialize. What's fascinating is that the evidence, the proof they wanted, only appears after they've already made the decision to trust their intuition. This is the nature of intuitive wisdom. It whispers softly before any tangible signs manifest, but when those signs come, they arrive with undeniable clarity. This month, August, is set to draw a very distinct line, almost like a dividing force, between those who listen to and act on their inner senses and those who still cling to external guarantees. When that inner voice begins to rise above the usual background noise, the chatter of doubts, fears, and distractions, you will know it. This voice isn't just a fleeting feeling or a passing thought. It's your personal compass, your protective warning, your guiding light. It's not merely about keeping you safe from harm. It's also about positioning you exactly where you need to be, in the right place at the right time to meet what's coming next in your life. And what's coming? It won't be quiet or subtle. It will demand attention and might feel like being thrust into the spotlight without any prior warning or preparation. One moment, you could feel comfortable lingering in the background, unnoticed and unbothered. The next moment, suddenly, all eyes are on you. This spotlight could take many forms. It might be a conversation where you find yourself articulating truths or insights that others never realized you possessed. It could be someone calling you out, not to shame or criticize, but because they see a deeper potential or truth in you that you haven't fully embraced or revealed yet. Or perhaps you'll enter a room, and the energy shifts noticeably, placing you in the center of attention, confronted with a choice, to shrink back and hide or to step forward and show up fully. This is no random coincidence or accident. This moment of heightened visibility is intentional. It is a test and an invitation wrapped into one. You have been doing the hard inner work, investing time and energy into growth, healing, and transformation. But growth is not meant to be hidden or private forever. At some point, what you've cultivated inside must be expressed outwardly, lived and embodied in your interactions and presence. For you, that moment is arriving this month, suddenly and without fanfare. Exactly when you most need IT might feel uncomfortable or awkward at first. You may find yourself replaying conversations, questioning your words, wondering if you should have handled things differently. That's a natural part of stepping into unfamiliar territory. But here's the essential truth. You were placed in that moment deliberately. It was not a mistake or a coincidence. You were the only one who could hold the space, speak those words, or respond in that way. If you give in to fear and retreat, the old patterns will begin anew, repeating the same lessons and cycles. But if you stay grounded, if you breathe deeply, remain present, and allow yourself to be seen without apology, you unlock an entirely new path forward. The nervousness you feel about being visible, about others truly seeing you, is precisely why you are being seen. It's a sign that you're on the brink of something meaningful. Passing through this test, this moment of exposure will set significant change in motion. You won't have to push to be noticed this month. The spotlight will find you effortlessly, and for once, it won't feel awkward or uncomfortable. There will be something different in the way you carry yourself, in the energy you radiate, and others will begin to notice this shift too. August has a unique way of bringing a quiet, grounded kind of power to those who are ready. Not the power of ego or flashiness, but the power that emerges when inner alignment becomes visible and undeniable. It's a turning point, a moment of emergence, and an invitation to live your truth fully and unapologetically. You'll find yourself moving through ordinary moments, walking down the aisles of the grocery store, chatting casually at a friend's gathering, or simply going about your day, and yet something extraordinary will begin to unfold around you. There will be this subtle, almost surreal sensation that people are watching you, not with judgment or scrutiny, but with genuine curiosity and a sense of intrigue. You might catch someone holding your gaze a little longer than usual, their eyes reflecting an unspoken recognition. When you speak, their attention sharpens, as if they're hearing not just your words but the deeper energy behind them. Occasionally, someone might offer a compliment that feels strangely specific and deeply resonant, remarking on the energy you give off or the way your presence seems to fill the room. They won't fully understand why they're drawn to you, but you will. Something fundamental has shifted within you, and it's beginning to ripple outward in ways you hadn't anticipated. At first, these moments may seem small, even insignificant. Perhaps a random cashier will tell you, "You have such a powerful energy," or a close friend will notice and say you're glowing in a way that goes beyond physical appearance. You might observe strangers instinctively making room for you, stepping aside not because you demand it, but because your presence naturally commands it without effort. It's not about seeking attention or craving validation. Rather, it's about the ease with which this attention arrives, as if you've stopped hiding and started simply being. You're no longer dimming your light to blend in or avoid standing out. Instead, you're showing up in the world authentically, and it's making a difference. This emergence isn't new. It's who you have always been beneath the surface noise and self-imposed limitations. The only change is that now, you no longer shrink away or try to minimize your impact. Your energy fills a room before you even utter a word. The universe has been steadily turning up your volume, gradually increasing your presence in subtle ways. And August marks the point where the world begins to truly hear you, not as a whisper, but as a clear, confident voice. There's no longer any need to chase influence or seek approval from outside sources, because you're becoming the influence itself. What many don't realize is that before the universe expands your reach, it tests your energy. These moments when you're noticed, when you feel the pull of others' attention, are not random or accidental. They serve as checkpoints, silent confirmations that the inner work you've done, the growth and healing you've invested in, are now reflecting outwardly. There's no need to analyze or dissect these experiences. Instead, simply receive them with gratitude and openness. Let them remind you that your light is valid and worthy of being seen. The more you allow yourself to accept your light without apology or hesitation, the more profound your understanding will become. This month isn't about suddenly being discovered or thrust into the spotlight by chance. It's about remembering a truth that's always been there. You were never truly hidden. You didn't magically become magnetic overnight. You simply stopped dimming yourself to fit in or avoid discomfort. And that shift, subtle as it may seem, changes everything. The way you carry yourself now, steadier, more grounded, more unapologetically you, will open a door you believed had been closed forever. And through that door, something significant is already making its way toward you. It could be an opportunity you've been waiting for, a meaningful conversation that shifts your perspective, or a decision that will redirect your path. When this moment arrives, you won't need to rehearse your words or prove your worth to anyone. You will just need to show up exactly as you are, fully present, fully yourself. Those old excuses, the doubts and fears you used to lean on as shields, will lose their grip on you. They'll fade quietly, without resistance, as a new, quieter kind of power rises within you. This rising power is subtle but unmistakable. It's the strength that comes from living in alignment with your truth, from moving through life with a calm confidence that doesn't need to shout to be heard. August is the month where that power begins to reshape your world, bringing new connections, fresh possibilities, and deeper clarity. It's a time to trust that the energy you emit, the presence you embody, is not only enough, it is exactly what the world has been waiting for. This won't feel like a sudden seismic shift that turns your whole world upside down overnight. You won't wake up one morning feeling like you've become some kind of superhuman or that everything has magically fallen into place. Instead, you'll begin to notice something far more subtle, yet infinitely more powerful. The resistance you once carried, that stubborn weight pulling you back from doing what's good for you, will slowly but surely start to dissolve. The things that once felt like uphill battles, the simple yet vital acts of drinking enough water, honoring the promises you make to yourself, moving your body regularly, or finally taking that step towards something you kept putting off, will begin to happen with surprising ease. At first, you might not even be aware of this shift. It will sneak up on you. Then one day, you'll pause and realize, wait, I've been doing this consistently all along. And in that quiet moment, you'll see the true power of alignment at work. This isn't some fleeting burst of motivation that sparks and fizzles away within days. What you're experiencing is realignment on a deep level, a resonance between your energy and the version of yourself who has always known how to show up, not flawlessly or with force, but with steady consistency and grace. Those habits that once felt like draining obligations are beginning to sustain you, feeding your momentum rather than sapping your strength. It's not because you've suddenly figured everything out or conquered all your challenges, but because the way you see yourself is transformed. The inner conflict, the tug-of-war between the part of you that craves growth and the part that clings to old excuses and fears, is losing its grip. You've outgrown that exhausting battle, and the struggle itself starts to feel foreign. Even your old excuses will begin to sound hollow to you. Phrases like, "I'm too tired," "I'll get to it later," or "what's the point," will feel recycled and worn out like clothes you once loved but no longer fit your evolving self. Because deep down, you know this isn't the moment to stall or delay any longer. August isn't here to offer you more time to procrastinate. It's here to help you ground everything you've been learning and integrate it fully. This month invites you to solidify your progress, not postpone your growth. And here's the unexpected twist. The simple habit you commit to this month, the one you might think is just about staying consistent, will actually become a gateway. It will open the door to something far bigger and more transformative than you anticipate. You'll believe you're simply keeping up with your routine, but this habit is actually the key that unlocks the next stage of your journey. This process isn't about pushing yourself harder or forcing change. Instead, it's about finally catching up with a version of you that's been ready all along. That part of you has been waiting patiently for you to stop overthinking and simply begin. And when the truth of this hits you, it won't sting or cause pain. It will liberate you. It will set you free. That moment of liberation is coming, and it will be marked by a cosmic shift on August 6th. This date won't be just another square on the calendar. It will feel like a fundamental change in the very gravity of your life. On that day, Saturn, the planet of truth, structure, and karmic clarity, will align with Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, and fog. When these two energies collide, illusions don't just fade, they collapse. What you've been holding on to tightly, whether it's a dream, a person, or an old plan that no longer fits the path you're on, will be released. This isn't a cruel or harsh ending. It's a profound rescue, a gentle but firm invitation to let go. You may have told yourself that things would eventually work out or that struggling through was simply part of the journey. But deep down, you've known the truth. What you were clinging to wasn't real in the way you needed it to be. It was an illusion, a comforting story you held onto in the hopes it would bring you closer to your goals or happiness. Now you're being invited to release those illusions, not your hope or your dreams, but the false versions that no longer serve you. When those illusions fall away, what will emerge on the other side is clarity, clear, unwavering, and grounding. You'll step into alignment with your true path and experience a kind of movement and progress that doesn't demand struggle or effort, only honesty with yourself. This is the essence of growth, not forcing change, but allowing yourself to be guided by truth, and in that truth, finding freedom. What's unfolding right now isn't just a random cosmic coincidence or some fleeting astrological event to glance over and forget. This conjunction happening in the sky is far more than an astronomical alignment. It's a profound mirror held up to your life, reflecting back with unflinching honesty the places where you've been pretending, where you've been holding on to narratives and situations that no longer resonate with the truth of who you are. It exposes those corners of your reality where you've convinced yourself that something still fits or works when deep down, it no longer aligns with your evolving self. It shines a spotlight on the illusions you've been leaning on, perhaps a relationship that's long been out of sync with your heart's needs, or a dream you've chased for years that now feels hollow, more a habit or a story you've told yourself out of comfort rather than passion. Sometimes, this clarity arrives all at once, hitting like a wave of undeniable truth that something in your life must come to an end. And this time, unlike before. You're not afraid of that ending. You're ready for it, even eager for the freedom it promises. The clarity that August 6th brings is anything but soft or gentle. It cuts through the fog like a sharp blade, clean, unapologetic, and impossible to ignore. Yet, this clarity doesn't bring grief or sorrow in the way you might expect. Instead, it offers relief, a profound sense of liberation that comes from finally letting go of something that was never truly yours or aligned with your authentic path. Releasing these illusions doesn't wound, it opens space. And that space is fertile ground for a new version of you, one you may have already begun stepping into without fully realizing it. There's no pressure to force this change. The shift has already taken place beneath the surface. Now, your only task is to notice it, to allow yourself to move forward with the awareness that you've already evolved. For others, the opposite will happen. What once seemed vague, distant, or out of reach will suddenly crystallize into something tangible and real. The fog that obscured your vision will lift, and you'll find yourself gripped by a sense of certainty that dispels lingering doubts. That dream or goal that once felt far off now feels not only possible, but inevitable. The time for questioning and hesitating will be over. Instead, you'll find yourself naturally building, creating, and moving forward with unwavering confidence. Because when Saturn, the planet of structure, discipline, and hard-earned wisdom, collides with Neptune, the realm of dreams, illusions, and spiritual insights, there is no room left for indecision or wishful thinking. Dreams either dissolve into nothingness or take form in solid, undeniable reality. The universe will no longer wait on your maybe. Clarity doesn't tiptoe. It strikes like lightning, demanding your full attention and commitment. So if things fall apart this month, surrender to it. If truth lands squarely in your chest, don't try to reason or rationalize your way out of it. This moment, raw and unfiltered as it is exactly what you need. It's here to clear the slate, to sweep away what no longer serves you, and make room for what's meant to be. And if you lean into this cleansing process, what follows won't just feel aligned. It will feel utterly inevitable, as if the universe itself has paved the way for you to walk forward with confidence and grace. Amidst all of this, a small slip or crack will reveal something much larger underneath. It won't come as a grand revelation or a dramatic confrontation. Rather, it might appear as a fleeting word, a glance, a pause, or a subtle inconsistency that catches your attention. Something seemingly minor but deeply meaningful, a detail, a reaction, or a story that just doesn't quite add up. You'll notice it not because you become suspicious or cynical, but because you finally tuned into a higher level of awareness. You're no longer dismissing what your body and intuition have been signaling long before your mind could process it. Your senses have sharpened, your perception refined, and that's why the universe is choosing this exact moment to reveal something it has been trying to show you for some time. This revelation won't come cloaked in chaos or upheaval. It might arrive quietly and unexpectedly, in a text message that feels cold or distant, a conversation that unexpectedly exposes a fissure, or behavior that clashes with the words being spoken. Yet, you will see it clearly. You will sense the tension, the space between what someone is trying to project and the deeper reality beneath their surface. It is in this space where truth resides, and you will be the first to recognize it, no longer willing to look away or pretend it doesn't exist. This newfound clarity is both a gift and a guide, illuminating the path ahead with unwavering honesty, preparing you for what must come next with a courage you didn't know you had. And once you see it, there's no going back. You can't unsee the truth that reveals itself so clearly. It's not here to shatter your world or send it tumbling into chaos. Rather, it's an invitation to finally ground yourself into something more real, more authentic, and far more aligned with who you truly are beneath all the layers you've accumulated over time. You've been building a new foundation slowly and surely, not just in the external parts of your life, like your relationships or your work, but most importantly, within yourself. This emerging truth, even if it feels uncomfortable or unsettling at first, is the key that helps you sweep away the last lingering remnants of old thinking, outdated roles, worn-out habits, and those stubborn doubts that have kept you stuck far longer than they deserved. The significance isn't in the slip itself, whether it's a misstep, a moment of exposure, or an uncomfortable realization, but in what that slip uncovers. It's the revelation beneath that moment that truly matters. And the most important thing is how you choose to respond to what you now know about yourself, about others, and about the path you're on. Sometimes the one who slips isn't someone else, it's you. You might catch yourself saying words that no longer resonate, or acting in ways that feel forced or out of alignment with who you really want to be. In that instant, there's a startling awareness that the mask you've been wearing for so long no longer fits. This isn't a sign of failure or weakness. It's a clear marker of transformation. It means you've grown beyond the roles you once played, and you're ready to step into something more authentic. This moment of exposure, as vulnerable as it might feel, is a vital part of shedding old skins and stepping into your true power. What truly matters isn't the exposure itself or the discomfort it might bring, but how you meet it. You don't need to react immediately or rush to confront anyone or anything. What matters most is that you see it, that you acknowledge the truth rather than dismiss or bury it. The blind spot you once had is no longer blind. You're no longer moving through life based on assumptions or half-truths. Instead, you walk forward with clarity, even if the exact direction isn't yet clear. That clarity alone is enough to begin reshaping your journey in a meaningful way. So when the slip happens, and it will, lean into it. Don't panic or overthink. Don't get caught in a spiral of what-ifs or regrets. Instead, recognize it for what it truly is, a gift, a revelation tailored just for you in a way only you can fully understand. Holding that truth in your hands gives you access to a new level of power. Real power. The kind that comes not from controlling or forcing, but from understanding and embracing your authentic self without apology. This month, the chaos you witness around you will serve as your confirmation. You won't need to search for subtle signs or hidden meanings anymore. The evidence will be impossible to miss. Someone in your life will eventually lose control, revealing what's been kept under the surface for too long. Maybe they'll lash out in frustration, spiral into confusion, or inadvertently reveal secrets they intended to keep hidden. Whatever shape this takes, you won't be left wondering what it means. You'll experience a deep, visceral knowing, a full-body confirmation that resonates with everything you've sensed but maybe couldn't quite put into words before. This isn't just about external events. It's about the version of you that has already outgrown the things that once held you down. There was a time when someone else's chaos had a tight grip on your emotions, when you felt compelled to fix, defend, help, or try to understand others even when it chipped away at your own peace and well-being. But now you're simply observing. You're calm, unshaken, and detached, not in a cold or uncaring way, but in a way that reflects how far you've come on your journey. You see the drama clearly now, and you know it's not yours to carry anymore. There's a unique, almost strange power in watching someone else unravel and realizing you're no longer pulled into their storm. Sometimes, witnessing another spiral becomes the clearest reflection of your own growth and healing. It might be an ex who resurfaces unexpectedly with unresolved issues, or a friend who suddenly turns the blame onto you when confronted with their own shortcomings. Perhaps it's a coworker who cracks under pressure and lets their stress spill over into every interaction. But instead of being dragged into the chaos, something inside you remains steady and still. You've been through that storm. You know how heavy the burden felt. And more importantly, you know the strength it took to walk away, to reclaim your peace, and to step into your power. This distance isn't detachment. It's a sign of your evolution. It's the clear boundary you've set to protect your energy and honor your growth. And in that space, you find your true freedom. This isn't some arbitrary test or trial you're being subjected to. No, it's far more profound. It's validation, a powerful confirmation of everything you've been working toward and protecting within yourself. It proves that the boundaries you once hesitated over, wondering if you were being too harsh or too distant, were not only appropriate but absolutely necessary. Choosing space for yourself, setting limits, and protecting your peace was never a weakness or a luxury. It was an act of profound self-respect and survival. What you once feared might shatter you now feels strangely unfamiliar, almost like a distant memory. And that's the unmistakable sign of real transformation. The shift you've been waiting for has genuinely taken root deep inside you. The old version of you, the one who would have immediately reacted with emotional turmoil, defensiveness, or confusion, has been replaced by someone stronger, calmer, and wiser. You've learned that you don't need chaos to resolve itself in a neat, tidy package before you can move forward. Closure isn't something that has to be handed to you wrapped in perfection. It's something you create by choosing yourself and your peace above all else. So when the storm of old patterns, conflicts, or expectations rolls in, you don't have to dive back into it, try to explain your choices, fix what's broken, or argue your worth. Instead, you can simply observe, absorb the lesson, and walk away knowing that this time, you're leaving with something far more valuable than a battle scar. You're walking away with peace, with dignity, and with a quiet but unshakable strength. August isn't simply ushering in clarity. It's delivering a surge of energy unlike anything you felt before. This charge won't sneak up on you slowly or come with a series of signs. Instead, it will hit you suddenly and unmistakably, an electric jolt coursing through your body that urges you forward. This isn't fear or pressure masquerading as motivation. It's something pure, almost otherworldly, as if your soul itself is waking up from a long sleep and commanding, "Now is the time." It's an inner call that resonates in every fiber of your being, clear and undeniable. This energy might manifest in unexpected ways, a sudden urge to declutter your space, to finally begin that project you've been putting off, to send that important message that's been swirling in your mind, or to step into an opportunity you've been quietly longing for. Perhaps it's the day you decide to stop making excuses, to stop delaying, and to finally take a step, big or small, toward what you truly want. Whatever form it takes, this momentum doesn't come from outside circumstances. It rises from within. It's your higher self overriding the hesitation, doubt, and procrastination that have held you back. Your soul is stepping in, bypassing the fears and overthinking of your mind to give you a direct, sacred push forward. This isn't just a burst of random energy or fleeting motivation. It's sacred, deeply meaningful, and meant to be harnessed and used. Don't squander it on distractions, endless scrolling, or waiting for the perfect moment. When you feel this surge, don't question it, don't rationalize it away. Move with it, embrace it, and act. Because this kind of clarity has the power to collapse timelines, bringing people, opportunities, and insights into your life with surprising speed and synchronicity. It shifts not only what you see when you look in the mirror, but also how the world responds to you. It's as if the universe itself is aligning with your intention, opening doors you never even knew existed. At first, this sensation might feel strange or even uncomfortable, as if you're being guided by something beyond logic or reason. But that's exactly the point. This isn't a glitch or mistake. It's your green light, a signal that you're on the right path. When it strikes, don't hesitate. Don't wait for the feeling to linger or the doubts to settle. Don't try to analyze or dilute it. Just move forward with trust and courage. This moment is your invitation to step into a new chapter, to open doors to possibilities and growth you couldn't have accessed before. It's your time to claim the power and momentum you've earned and to trust that what's coming next is exactly what you need. Life has been waiting on you to catch your breath. After so many months, or maybe even years, of pushing through uncertainty, wrestling with conflicting emotions, and navigating the dense fog of doubt and hesitation, it has been quietly holding space for your pause. It hasn't rushed you or demanded immediate answers. Instead, it has patiently waited for you to slow down enough to truly feel yourself again, to listen deeply to your own rhythm, and to rediscover what peace feels like beneath the noise. And now, finally, it exhales. This isn't just a sigh of relief from the universe. It's a breath of fresh air that's slowly filling your lungs, steady, grounding, and unmistakably real. August doesn't end quietly in the sense of fading away without notice. It ends quietly in a way that profound things do, with subtlety, softness, and a delicate touch that might surprise you if you're expecting fireworks. It's not flashy, not grandiose, not loud, but it lands exactly where it needs to, with precision and care, right in the core of your being, where all the fragments you've been gathering over time begin to form a coherent whole. This is the moment where all the emotional back and forth, the exhausting internal debates, and the relentless self-work that sometimes felt like running in circles starts to make sense. It may not come with an announcement or a spotlight. Instead, it appears as a quiet, undeniable knowing, a gentle unfolding of clarity. In the final days of this transformative month, there will be a moment, perhaps when you're least expecting it, when you pause and wonder, is this actually working out? And here's the remarkable truth. Yes, it is. Not just superficially, where things look fine on the surface, but in a deep internal realignment that reconfigures the way you move through your life. That overdue email you've been anxious about finally gets a reply. The conversation you've been avoiding, the one that felt heavy with tension or fear, unexpectedly turns out better than you dared to hope. Maybe a payment you weren't sure would come through arrives just when you need it. Or perhaps it's something even simpler, quieter, yet just as profound. One morning, you wake up and realize the heaviness that has been weighing on your chest for weeks or months is simply gone. It's as if a shadow lifted and you are seeing the world and yourself with fresh eyes. Not all breakthroughs shout their arrival. Some sneak in gently, like peace you forgot was possible, like ease where you once labored endlessly. This is why the last part of August feels so different from other times you've struggled. It's not just about calm. It's about reward. It's the harvest after the seasons of waiting and working, the payoff of the patience you've shown when progress seemed invisible. Every delay, every detour, every strange timing and inexplicable feeling wasn't a setback. It was part of a larger, intricate preparation. The universe was positioning you, tuning your frequency, and aligning circumstances to meet you where you are now. And the signs are unmistakable. Results are starting to show, quietly but undeniably. This payoff might take many forms. It could be a yes you didn't expect, an invitation or opportunity that seems to come out of nowhere but feels perfectly timed. It might be a clear, unwavering knowing that replaces the mental spirals that once kept you awake at night. Or maybe it's an opening, a door you thought was sealed forever, that now swings open effortlessly. Whatever shape it takes, it is proof you've crossed into something new, a fresh chapter in your life where you move with more grace, wisdom, and confidence. Yes, the external world might still feel chaotic. The swirling uncertainty of life's unpredictability may persist. But this time, there is a difference. You are steady. You're no longer a leaf caught in a storm. You're the rooted tree standing tall in the wind. You're not moving with the chaos. You're holding center, steady and calm, so don't shut down too early. Don't rush through these final days of August as if you're just eager to move on. There is value in staying soft to yourself, to the process, and to the unfolding journey. Be open to the subtle gifts this period offers. Because what comes at the end of this month is not loud or dramatic, but it is unmistakably for you. It's a deep, gentle, undeniable unfolding tailored to the unique path you've walked and the version of yourself you're becoming. If you found yourself still here, reading this, thank you. Thank you for showing up, for staying present with your own experience, and for being willing to receive this message. If it resonates, if it lights something in you, feel free to stay connected. Subscribe to deeper insights, share your reflections, or simply carry these words with you as a quiet companion on your journey ahead. The road isn't always clear or easy, but you are not alone. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep moving steadily toward what's truly meant for you. Beyond the comfort of these closing words lies a deeper invitation to recognize that life's gentle exhale is not the end of effort or growth, but a sacred pause that renews your capacity to move forward with clarity and purpose. This breath, the one you're taking now, is a moment of recalibration. It's where the relentless push of doing meets the serene wisdom of being. It calls you to slow down long enough to notice the subtle shifts inside you, the quiet changes in how you respond, how you feel, and how you see your world. Imagine the feeling of waking up without the familiar weight of worry pressing down on your chest. This is more than relief. It's a return to yourself, a reunion with your own essence that has been muffled beneath layers of stress and distraction. It's the moment when you realize you don't have to fight so hard against yourself or life. You start to trust that things are unfolding as they should, that your efforts have created unseen ripples now coming to shore. The quiet moments of breakthrough often involve a shift in perspective as much as circumstance. You might catch yourself seeing your challenges not as failures or blocks, but as necessary chapters in your growth story. You begin to understand that every delay and detour carried meaning, teaching you lessons about patience, resilience, and the subtle art of surrender. This kind of insight is a gift that transforms how you move forward. Instead of pushing against resistance, you start flowing with the currents of your own life, and there's something profoundly empowering in this shift. You're no longer caught in the exhausting loop of trying to control outcomes or prove your worth through constant struggle. Instead, you meet each moment with a quiet confidence born from inner alignment. This is where your true power lives, not in doing more, but in being more fully yourself. August's closing days ask you to embrace this power gently. You don't have to have all the answers or perfect plans. The universe isn't demanding you sprint ahead, but inviting you to take deliberate, authentic steps. Maybe it's reaching out to someone you've hesitated to connect with. Maybe it's finally starting that project that's been simmering quietly in your mind. Maybe it's simply sitting with yourself, acknowledging how far you've come, and allowing gratitude to fill your heart. This kind of presence transforms your experience of life. The ordinary moments, the email replies, the unexpected conversations, the small victories, become markers of profound change. They remind you that growth often happens in increments, in whispers rather than roars. And that's enough. That's everything. As you move through the rest of this month and beyond, hold on to this sense of calm momentum. Let it carry you through the uncertainties that will inevitably arise, the times when old doubts try to creep back in. Remember this breath, the one life waited for you to take, and the way it shifted everything, not by force but by quiet presence. You are stepping into a new way of living, one where your peace isn't a fragile dream but a steadfast reality. You're learning that the most meaningful breakthroughs often arrive not with a crash but with a whisper. And in that whisper, you find the courage to keep moving forward, gently but surely, toward all that's waiting for you.